All right. So we're going to do a little bit of work for the upper body today. I know we did some upper body work last week. We probably are going to do about the same amount today and really work on that. And thinking about when we're doing the upper body work, thinking about moving your hands, not just from the fingers, but all the way up. See if you can feel it in the muscles of your arms as well. Okay? All right. So make sure your cell phones are off. Once you've done that, come to the front edge of your chair and have your feet underneath your knees. And find your sitting bones. Make sure you can feel those sitting bones back there. And sit up nice and tall. So notice if you're leaning more to one side than the other. So if you feel heavier in the right sitting bone or heavier in the left sitting bone, see if you can balance that out a little bit. And then bring your shoulders right over your hips and your head right over your shoulders. So again, we don't want to have this posture. Don't want to have this posture. We want to be upright. And pull your navel in just a little bit so your tummy is supporting your back. Let your hands be relaxed so they can be together or apart, but just kind of relaxed. Hands and fingers are relaxed. Close your eyes. If closing your eyes doesn't feel comfortable, just drop your gaze down at the floor. And let's just do a little deep breathing here. So beginning with a nice long, slow, deep inhalation and a nice long, slow exhalation. As you're breathing in and out, notice where you feel movement in your body. Maybe you feel your ribs expanding and contracting. Maybe you feel your belly moving in and out. Maybe you feel your shoulders rising and falling. So every breath in is long and slow and deep, filling as much of your body as you can with air. And every breath out is long and slow. Let's add a little count to the breathing. So as you breathe in, see if you can slowly count to 4. And as you breathe out, see if you can slowly count to 4. And most of us are going to find it a little more challenging to breathe out to 4, at least initially. So take whatever time you need to kind of get that balance. Breathing in to 4 and out to 4. And when you've got that ratio, that breathing into 4 and out to 4, we're going to add the holds. So after you breathe into 4, I'm going to have you hold your breath in for a count of 4. And then you'll breathe out to a count of 4. And then you'll hold your breath out for a count of 4. So we got 4 4s. Breathing into 4, holding for 4, breathing out for 4, and holding for 4. This is called the box breath. And again, just noticing where it's most challenging for you. Maybe it's on the exhaling for 4. Maybe it's on holding the breath out for 4. I'll do just a couple more of these. So wherever you're at, just doing your count of 4. And then releasing the counting, releasing the control of your breath. Just go back to your natural breath. Letting the air move in and out. And notice if you're more aware of something about your breathing right now. And take in a breath, let it out with a sigh. Let your eyes gently open and then take those nice relaxed hands, and we're just going to start with some movement for the fingers. So squeezing and releasing the fingers. And as you're squeezing and releasing the fingers, just notice what other parts of your body are involved in this. So the fingers don't work all by themselves. There's muscles in the palms of the hands. There's muscles in the backs of the hands, the wrists, the forearms, up into the upper arms perhaps. And the next time you squeeze, I'm going to ask you to really squeeze, 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 and then extend and really spread the fingers nice and wide. And then we'll squeeze, really squeeze, squeeze, and extend. So just a couple more of these, just really getting that range. What range is possible here for you this morning with your hands? Good. All right, and then let's take the hands and just circle at the wrists. So some movement here in the wrists. The muscles that control the hands and fingers come from the arms. So if the wrists are tight, the movement in the hands, the strength in the hands is going to be compromised a little bit. And reverse direction. And breathe in and out, nice and smooth and steady. All right. And then we're going to take the arms right out to the sides. Turn your palms up. And have your hands just slightly below your shoulders and draw your shoulder blades back and down a little bit. This seems loud now. Okay, so all we're going to do here is just a little range of movement for the elbows. So we're just going to tap the shoulders and then extend. Tap and extend. Good. And you're inhaling and exhaling. Great. And the next time your hands come to your shoulders, hold here and then turn your hands so they're down, like under your armpits. Right, so they were up here and they're just going whoop, right under here. So now we're going to go out and in and out and in. Good. Yeah, you guys are nice and close over there. Good. Breathing in, breathing out. Okay. And the next time you have your arms out, we're going to hold here. Good. So your thumbs are down, right? So let's take the thumbs. Let's see if we can go back toward the back wall a little bit more. So you're trying to turn the palms of your hands up toward the ceiling. And notice now, does this create this lift in your shoulders? See if you can drop the shoulders down. So the movement is happening from the fingers up to the tops of the shoulders, right? And then we're going to go the other way. So turning the palms forward and all the way up. And turn them back as if you could put your hand on the back wall, right? And squeeze your shoulder blades together a little bit. Breathing in, breathing out. We're just going to keep turning the arms so that there's this rotation, and it's happening. If you look at one of your arms, see if you can see that rotation happening from your fingers all the way up. So from your fingers to your palms, your wrists, your forearms, your elbows, your upper arms, and up into your shoulder. Right? So all this movement is possible. When you get to the end, so when your palm is up toward the ceiling, see if you can get to that end range, right? Turn a little bit more. See if you can feel it way up in here. If this is too much, you can always drop your arms down, right? So if it's just a little too intense, and then turning again. So we're going to do this a few more times, right? So the more you extend your arm, or arms rather, the more you're going to feel this. Good. Next time your palms are up, we're going to hold here. How are we doing? Okay. Your arms should be weighing at least 30% more right now, right? Good. So we're going to take the hands all the way up overhead, right? Palms facing one another. Reach up through your fingers. Great. We're going to take the right hand and bring it all the way down. Palm is still facing your body. So you get the right fingers reaching to the floor and the left fingers reaching to the ceiling. Get as long as you can, as much distance between the fingers of your right hand and your left hand as possible. And then we're going to go forward and the other way, right? So keep the arms lengthened if you can. Really reaching, so we're stretching. See if you can feel that in the side of the body as well, right? Breathing. And let's do that one more time on each side. So we're really lifting and lengthening, reaching those fingers down toward the floor. Sitting bones are even, right? So if you're leaning to one side, make sure you've got equal weight in your sitting bones, and then the other side as well. Good. Not quite done. We're going to bring the arms up overhead. Reach. Take them out to the sides. Excellent. Let's see if we can reach through the right fingers, reach through the left fingers. Palms are facing up. So you're holding a tray in either hand, right? So if you look out at your right hand, look out at your left hand. It's like you've got a tray. It's heavy, right? That tray is really heavy right now. Good. Let's take the arms forward. And with the palms facing up, we're going to bring the arms back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Palms are still up. Don't drop your tray. And then we're going to come forward and out to the sides. That's the whole movement. So breathe as you do this, squeezing shoulder blades together. Watch that you're not dropping anything off your tray. Right? Good. And really focus when we bring the arms back, really squeeze those shoulder blades. Give it just like a little moment there, right? Can you do 2 more of these? No? Maybe no one wants to say. All right, let's do 2 more. That's 1, right? That's 7. All right, and then let your arms come down by your sides. Let them just kind of hang down. Close your eyes. And notice if your arms feel a little heavy right now. Notice the aliveness in your fingers and hands. So you might not have been aware of all this activity, all this sensation that's available in your fingers and your hands. Take a deep breath in, let it out with a sigh. Open your eyes. Let's take the hands together, interlace the fingers so we're making like the little fist on either side. Notice which thumb is on top, right? And then we're going to press the palms away, round through your upper back. So this is like a cat stretch, right? So you know how a cat, like a Halloween cat, right? It has a arched back. And then we're going to bring the arms up overhead and arch your back a little bit. And then come forward again. So we're doing this little stretch through the upper back. You can even bring your chin in toward the collarbones. And then coming up overhead and really arching the back. So we'll do this just a couple more times. Now you might notice it's easier to breathe in when you lift up and to breathe out when you come forward, or maybe it's the opposite for you. How about 1 more time? Good. And then release your hands. Move out your fingers a little bit. And now we're going to interlace the fingers in the opposite way. So whichever thumb was on top before is now on the bottom. And don't just move your thumbs, move all your fingers. So it might feel weird, right? It might feel like you're holding somebody else's hand or a different hand. So we're going to do the same thing. So pressing out through the palms of your hands, rounding through the upper back, breathing in, breathing out. We're going to go up overhead, arching the back, and then come forward and round through the back. Good. Couple more. Lifting up and coming down. Good. 1 more time. Up. Breathing in, breathing out, and down. Good. And release your hands, release your arms. Let's roll those shoulders forward, up, back and down a couple of times. So you should be feeling something up into the shoulders a little bit more, the chest, the upper back. So we're going to take the right arm elbow first. We're going to circle around. Nice, big, slow circles. So what range of movement is available here? Like, can you paint the biggest circle on that wall that you can possibly get? Get your whole body involved too. So you might twist your body, you might lean down a little bit, you might lift and reach up a little bit, right? Breathing in, breathing out. And can you go the opposite way? So just shifting up and around with the elbow, right? So again, you can get into this as much as you want. If you want a little spine work, a little work for your abs, you're going to crunch forward and come up. Good. All right, and now let's make a figure 8. Nice big figure 8. All right, so the elbow is reaching up and around. And all of these movements are possible in your shoulder, and at some point you're going to reverse that 8, so go the opposite way. And your shoulder should be feeling a little fatigued right now, yeah? Okay, so let's give that one a little rest and we'll go to the other side. Yeah, whew. Let's take that other elbow. So left side now. Really big. So the slower you go, the more you can access different parts of the side of your body, your spine, your shoulder, your neck. Breathing in, breathing out. Nice big. Can you paint a really big circle on that wall? And then at some point reverse the direction of those. So we're going up and around the other way. Good. And then let's do some figure eights here. So nice big eights, bigger on the bottom, smaller on the top, right? So you can do a little ab work, a little side work if you kind of crunch down and then really lengthen up. Okay. And relax all of that. So take a moment, feel your shoulders, right? Just kind of roll them a little bit. How are we doing? Everybody doing okay? Shoulders feeling okay? All right. So can we take the right arm? So we're going to do some more circles. Take the right arm, sweep it up and around. Good. Okay. So we're going from back to front, right? So this is like an overhand pitch. God, this is driving me crazy. Okay. So we're going overhand here. Got that? All right. Let's switch sides. We'll go to the left. Same thing. So overhand. Good. Excellent. Let's go back to the right and we'll go backhand, right? So go backwards, like the backstroke. And breathing in, breathing out. Now if you're a little limited with your shoulder, just do the best you can. It might not get up as high, so one more time and then we'll go to the other side. Oh, this is looking good. Everybody's doing great. Smiling faces. All right, let's go to both arms now. So we're going to take the right and left hands and arms and go forward, right? So this is in line, right? Okay, the next time that your arms are up, hold them there for a moment. Take just your left arm and bring it down. So now we're going to go into what's called a syncopated rhythm, which means when the right arm is up, the lower arm is down, and then when the left arm is up, the right arm is down. So this is just a syncopated rhythm. Got that? This is swimming. This is what? The English crawl, right? For swimmers out there? Yeah. Okay. All right. And then let's go backwards. Uh-huh. Ah, you know what's next, right? Yeah. All right. So you got that, right? So we're going forwards and then we're going backwards. Now, can we go forward with the right arm and backward with the left arm? It's not this. I see some people doing this. I see some people doing this. Right arm is going forward. So do it small to start. Right arm forward, left arm backward. It should feel very confusing to the mind at first. Yeah? If you're feeling confused, you're doing it right. If you're not sure what the left arm is doing when the right arm is doing something, you're absolutely doing it right. Got that? All right. Can you switch? Can you bring the right, so left arm forward, right? I like to just kind of get going with one arm. So I got my left arm forward and now the right arm goes back. So it should, again, feel kind of weird. This is taking your mind off the fact that your shoulders feel like they weigh 40 pounds each, right? Good. I see a lot of flailing out there. It's like rowing your boat. Yes, it's like rowing your boat in a circle. All right. Whew. Take a break. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a couple of breaths and just notice what your shoulders and your chest and your back feel like. Notice your upper arms and your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, your hands, your fingers, your thumbs. Notice what all of that feels like. So you may feel some tingling. You might feel some warmth. You might feel a little discomfort, especially if you don't normally run through a good range of movement with your elbows and your shoulders and all of that. Take in a breath and let it out with a sigh. All right, let's give those arms and shoulders just a little bit of a break because we've been doing quite a bit. We're going to go down to the feet. So some of you were saying that you do your foot exercises at home, right? Is it getting easier? Yes, awesome. Okay, so let's look down at the feet. So if you've got your shoes off, that's great. If you want to take your shoes off, this is the time to do it. Having the tripods of your feet on the floor. So for those who aren't familiar, so the tripods are the heel, the big toe knuckle and the little toe knuckle, those 3 points on each foot. So you've got your foot tripods down, you're going to lift all your toes and then lower them down. And we're just going to lift and lower a few times the toes. And notice, especially if you have bare feet, if you can see how your toes are moving. So when you lift your toes, do they all move toward one another or do they move away from one another? When you lower your toes, do they move toward one another or away from one another? And maybe you have toes that are crossed over. Maybe you've got a little hammer toe somewhere. So just notice how everything's moving this morning. Okay. And then the next time you have all your toes lifted, hold them up. Have a good look down there. See if you can spread them out a little bit. So we're using some of the muscles in between. So remember, your tripods are on the floor. So the heel, the big and little toe knuckles are on the floor. And then you're going to take just your big toes and press them down. Keep all the little toes lifted, and then lift all your toes. So press down and lift. So you don't want to have, this part of your foot should be on the floor, right? This is just the toes. So we're isolating toe movement. So we're pressing down and lifting. And notice, as you're pressing down and lifting, notice what the little toes are all doing. Are they trying to join in? Yeah. Maybe they're codependent. Next time you lift, everybody, hold there. Big toes are going to stay lifted, and you're going to press all the little toes down. And then lift. Press and lift. Right? So all the little toes, but the big toes stay lifted. And that may be challenging. Now notice what your hands are doing right now. Are they gripping your thighs? That's your hands yelling at your feet. So pressing down and lifting. Okay, and then lower all the toes down. And just notice what you feel. You might close your eyes for a moment. Just notice, are you more aware of the bottoms of your toes? Are you more aware that there's an independence in your toes, even if it's just between the big toe and the other 4? Okay, so having all parts of your feet on the floor right now, we're going to keep everything down. We're just going to lift just the big toes and lower them down. Just the big toes and lower down. So lifting and lowering just the big toes. Try not to move your legs, so try not to let your knees come out to the sides. Good, how are we doing? So-so. Yeah, one side good, one side, who knows what's going on over there, right? All right, and then with the big toes down, now we're going to lift all the little toes and lower. Lift and lower all the little toes, keeping the big toe pressed down. How's it going? Is anybody breathing? I forgot to mention that, but that's pretty important. When we're doing this kind of work, that's what happens, right? When you're focused on something, your breathing gets really shallow. So believe it or not, we're having fun with the toes, but we're actually working the muscles in the bottoms of the feet right now. Very important for balance. Very important for mobility. Okay, lift all your toes again. Everybody's up? Okay. Press your big toes and your baby toes down. Keep all the middle toes lifted. Now are your hands really yelling at your feet? Yeah. Okay. Relax that again. Take a breath. Let's try that one more time. Lift all the toes. Big toes pressed down. Baby toes pressed down. All the middle toes stay lifted. You can feel that's really working that arch, right? That's really working that arch. Excellent. And then lower that all the way down. Excellent. Bring your feet in a little bit. We're just going to come up on the toes and then down to the heels. Up and down. Now when you come up, how high can you come up on your toes, right? So how much of a bend, in other words, can you get in your toes as opposed to the rest of your foot? Can you get a good, so if you're coming up and your toes are straight, let me see, maybe first those in the back. So if you're coming up and your toes are straight, we don't want that. We actually want to come up like a Barbie foot, right? You know a Barbie foot? Yeah. Yep, that's what we want. We want to create a little bit of a Barbie foot there. So we're coming up. So the next time you're up on your Barbie foot, hold there and breathe. Okay, now press into your right foot as if you were going to stand up on that Barbie foot. And then press into your left foot, again, as if you're going to stand on that foot. We're just going to go back and forth a little bit. So you can feel, as you're doing this, what I want you to notice is, where are you feeling it other than your foot? Can you feel it in your leg? Can you feel it in your butt? Amazing, right? So now what if you press into both feet like you're going to stand up? And then relax. And again, pressing into both feet like you're going to stand up. And relax. And one more time, pressing into both feet. And relax. Excellent. Drop your heels down. Bring your feet out a little bit. We're going to take the right foot now, and we're going to bring it back under the chair. Turn the top of the foot onto the floor. So that's this position with the foot, right? So we're doing the exact opposite. So this is an anti-Barbie foot, right? So we're stretching. Now if you press down into the top of the foot, and if the floor is kind of hard on your foot, grab your shoe or grab your sock and put your foot on that. Give it a little cushion. So if you press more into the big toe side of your foot, can you feel it more here in the shin, the front of that big bone there? That is that's your tibia. And then if you press more to the outside, the little toe side, can you feel that a little more in the outside of the leg? Yeah. So whichever emphasis, so either on the big toe side or the little toe side, whichever emphasis gives you like the most sensation, it's like, ooh, that's like a little uncomfortable. Stay with that, because that's where you need that stretch a little bit more, right? So for a lot of us, we might be a little looser in the outside. So folks who are prone to, say, ankle sprains, they're a little looser on the outside. For some of us, we're very tight here on the inside. Okay, and then relax that, bring that foot to the floor. We're going to go to the other side. So left side, bring that foot underneath the chair, press into the top of the foot. So we're stretching. You feel that in the top of the foot, the front of the ankle, the shin. You might feel it up into your knee. If you press more to the big toe side, notice what that feels like. Press more to the little toe side, notice what that feels like. And just kind of go back and forth. Figure out for yourself which gives you the most sensation, and it may be different on this side than it was on the other side. Is that a surprise to some people that it's different? Yeah, sometimes we think we're very symmetrical. We are so not symmetrical. So not symmetrical. A lot of the stuff we see, like 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 arms, we can see all those things that are symmetrical, but internally we have 1 heart, 1 stomach, 1 liver. All right, and then relax that. Whew. All right, so just notice what your feet feel like. Your ankles, maybe again, little warmth, little sensation there. Let's do just a little bit for knees, and then we're going to go back to the upper body. Does that sound okay? All right, so sitting right on your sitting bones, have your hands right alongside your hips here. Your shoulders are stacked over your hips, and your belly is engaged a little bit. So you're not like sucking in your gut, but you've got your belly engaged a little bit. We're going to lift the right foot off the floor and just bend and extend that leg. So very slowly, we're going through this range of movement. As you come back, try and pull your heel so that you could touch the bottom of the chair. And then as you come out, straighten that leg as if you could bring your toes to touch your knee. Does that make sense? That direction? Okay, so you're trying to touch the bottom of the chair, and then you're trying to touch your toenails to your knee. And if you could do that, that would be really bad, because that would mean your knee was very compromised. But we're trying to do it, right? So can you feel how that's different? As a matter of fact, rest that for a moment, right? So you've got that feeling in your body, right? So now I want you to just kind of bend and kick your leg, like with just using momentum. Feel the difference? Yeah, so this is easy. Put your foot down for a moment. So using momentum, we're using more of the elasticity in the body. We're not actually engaging the muscles on a really deep level to get there. So now let's try it the hard way. So again, bending the knee, try and get your heel to the bottom of the chair. Squeeze the back of the leg. Squeeze the back of the leg. And then extend. Try and get your toenails right onto your knee. Again, really extending so you can feel your thigh. You feel your thigh muscles working here. And then 2 more times, we're going to bend. Really pull that heel back. Try not to use your shoulders. Try not to use your jaw. Try not to use your hands, right? One more time, extending. Can you hold it there, extended? Lift a little higher. Oh, breathe. You don't have to smile, that's optional. Breathing is not, though. Okay, can you take 3 breaths to lower your heel down? Nice straight leg. This is hard. Who said chair yoga was easy? No one. Whew. Let that go. Give that leg a little massage. Didn't I say it was an arm and hand day? Yeah. All right, we'll get back to that. All right, let's get to the other side. So the left side, same thing. Let's just explore. Let's do the kind of momentum thing first. So just kind of bending and extending, right? So you just notice, yeah, you're using the muscles, but you're using the momentum of, you're using that movement. Which law? Which Newton's law is that? Is that the 3rd law? I don't remember. All right. So the next time you bend, we're going to hold here, get the heel right onto the bottom of the chair. Like you could squeeze that back of the leg, get the heel right up onto the bottom of the chair, and then extend the leg and really get the toenails toward the knee. Now, I like to keep my hands here because I fall out of integrity very easily here. This just reminds me to keep my back strong. So we're squeezing the muscles in the back of the leg, squeezing the muscles in the front of the leg, and those are the muscles up here in the thigh, right? Right in the top of the leg. This is great for building strength in your knees, for building strength in the muscles that help you get up and down, right? So whether that's going up and down stairs, getting up and down off a chair, a car, a toilet, whatever it is that you're kind of getting yourself up and down off of, really important. Next time you squeeze the muscles in the back of the leg, hold there, hold there, hold there, breathe. Keep going. Keep going. Extend. Extend your leg. Toenails reaching toward your knee, right? So pull it back there. Can you hold? Can you lift higher? Can you keep breathing while you're doing that? Ooh. And how about 3 to lower? 3 to lower. 2 and 3. Whew. Let's give that leg a little massage. Okay. Take a moment here. Maybe close your eyes. Notice your feet, your toes. Notice your legs. Notice your buttocks. Notice your hips. So we got a whole lot going on in the lower body right now. So take in a deep breath, let it out with a sigh. All right, we're going to go right back to that upper body again. So taking your arms out by your sides with your elbows in nice and tight to your body. Make fists here. And imagine you're holding weights. So you want to grip the weights fairly well. You don't want to squeeze so much that you're hurting your fingers or hurting your knuckles, but you want to have a good squeeze here. So let's start with like 5 pounds, right? So imagine you've got 5 pounds and very slowly bringing these muscled hands all the way up. When you get to the top, try and touch your wrist to your shoulder. Right? So you're trying to get that wrist as close to the shoulder as possible. That squeezes these muscles in the upper part of the arm. And then really slowly lowering down. Keep squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. Okay, so relax your hands for a moment. And we're going to do the same thing with the arms that we did with the legs, sort of as a demonstration. So I can just make like a little light fist here, and then let's just lift and lower without thinking about it, right? Not much going on here. You could do this for an hour, right? Yeah, or maybe not an hour, but a while. You could definitely do this for a while. It's not taxing your muscles very much. We're using the momentum in the body. We're using the momentum of movement to get there. It's very different when we start to really actively engage. So again, you've got your weights. You're going to squeeze your weights. Extend your arms. Keep thinking about from shoulder to fingers, right? How important it is to keep the chain, if you will, to keep that chain engaged all the way. So we're going to squeeze the muscles here as we bring the wrists up to the shoulders, right? Squeeze at the top and then really slowly lower down, but keep all the muscles actively engaged. Can you feel that in your arms? You feel that in your hands? Good. So we're just going to keep doing this nice and slow. And if you keep your elbows tucked into your body, you're more likely to use the muscles in your arms than your shoulders and your neck. So if your arms are just kind of out here, it's hard to get that leverage. All right, so really squeezing. When you get to the very top, just like we did with the leg when we were bending and extending the leg, when you get to the very top, I'm going to ask you to hold here. Squeeze, 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 breathe, and then relax everything. Let your hands rest. Taking a breath in and out. We're going to do another little bit of work for those biceps muscles. You all doing okay? Okay. Arms come out to the sides now. So hands a little lower than the shoulders. Little lower than the shoulders. Weights in each hand. Squeeze. Right? And now as we're squeezing here, we're squeezing all the way up to the shoulders, and we're going to bring the wrists to the shoulders. Squeeze, and then extend. Nice and slow. Right? So that's the whole movement. Squeezing. When you get here, try and get the wrist right on the shoulder. So you're squeezing those muscles. How about 2 more of these? We're doing a lot with the upper arms today. A lot. Good. 1 more? Can we do 1 more? Okay. And then release and relax all of that. Ooh, take a break. Notice what you feel. Breath in, let it out with a sigh. Take your right arm, extend it out, fingers up. We're going to do a little stretch here. So keep the arm lower than the shoulder. We're going to pull back on the fingers. So this is going to stretch out all that squeezing we were doing. Stretching out, stretching out. And now here you can see my elbow is straight. We're going to give a little bit of a bend, just a little bend, and then straighten it out. So when we give it a little bit of a bend, we're actually pulling the stretch closer to the hand. When we straighten, we're pulling the stretch closer to the upper arm. So relax your shoulders. If you're up like this, see if you can bring that shoulder down. Good. Excellent. 1 more time. Good. And then let's switch hands. So left hand, fingers up. Grab hold, or just take your other hand, pull back. So relax your jaw, relax your neck. Arm is straight to start. And then we can give a little bit of a bend and then a little straighten. Make sure you're not using your shoulder to do the work, your jaw, your neck, your face. Yeah, that's the other thing we do when something's hard. We hold a lot of tension in our faces. Okay. Great. And let's go back to the right. We're going to have the fingers down. And then just pull back on the back of the hand a little bit. And again, relax the shoulder. So sometimes the tendency is to do this. See if you can just drop that shoulder down. This is just a really gentle stretch for the wrist here. And then same thing on the other side. Little gentle stretch. Good. Breathing in, breathing out. All right, we're going to take the right arm now. We're going to bring it across the body so it's over to the left. And then take your left hand and just pull that arm. Give it a little support. Give it a little comfort over there. Turn your head and look out over your right shoulder. And then lift and lower your chin a little bit. So we're stretching some of the shoulder muscles, the neck muscles, everything that was involved in the strengthening part of this. Good. A couple more. And then you can bring your head back to center. Take that arm, sweep it out, around, and behind your back. So it's resting, your arm is resting here on the small of your back. Take your left hand, grab hold of your right fingers, or your hand, or your wrist, or whatever you can comfortably kind of gather there. Your feet are flat on the floor. And we're pulling that arm over to the left a little bit. So as we're pulling the arm over to the left, getting a little bit of a stretch here in the shoulder area, maybe in the upper arm down into the elbow. So now what you're going to do is you're going to bring your left ear to your left shoulder and then lift that back up. So can you feel that in the right side of your neck? Okay, so next time you're there, we're just going to hold here and breathe. Let your head be heavy. And breathe deeply. So breathe into your ribs, breathe into your belly. If you want to add a little bit of intensity to this stretch, maybe a little exploration, you can very slowly and gently turn your nose down toward the floor and then up toward the ceiling. But keep your ear as close to your shoulder as you can. In other words, don't lift your head and turn it. You want to keep your head kind of in this extended position, extended to the left, that is. Good. Couple more. Great. And one more. Excellent. And then raise your head back up, release your arm, take your left arm, sweep it to the right. Pull across your body, turn and look out over your left shoulder now. And we're going to do that lifting and lowering of the chin. And notice, is it different on this side? And if it is, how so? And then bringing the head back to center, we're going to release that arm, sweep it around behind your back. Right, so the arm is resting on the small of the back. Take your right hand, grab hold of your fingers or your hand or your wrist or whatever you can get a hold of back there. And we're just going to gently pull that arm over to the right. And now sitting up nice and tall, you're going to drop your right ear to your right shoulder. So see if you can feel that stretch through the left side. And then come back up. So do this just a couple of times and then we're going to hold, okay? So notice, is this side of your neck, the side that's getting a stretch now, is it tighter than the other side? Or was the other side tighter? Next time your ear is on your shoulder, hold right here. So try and stay with it. Breathing in, breathing out. If you want to add a little challenge for yourself, if you want to investigate a little bit more, turn your nose down and then turn your nose up. So turning your nose down and turning your nose up, keeping the ear as close to the shoulder as you can. Breathing in and breathing out. And then bring your head back up to center. Release that arm. Let's bring the hands to the lap. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a breath in. Let it out with a sigh. Notice your neck and your shoulders, your arms, your hands. And let your eyes gently open. We're going to bring the chin. So we've talked about this the last couple of weeks. Can all of you find the notch in your collarbones? Right there, it's that little divot. You're going to bring your chin right down toward that notch. So I like to sometimes just use my finger here to direct me. So it's not just a movement down, it's also a movement back, right? So keep that, it's like you're trying to get the chin in the notch. You can even open your mouth. See if you can open your mouth and get the lower part of your chin, or the chin, the lower jaw, sorry, so that it gets a little closer to that notch. And then come back up to sort of a neutral position. So that's a position, that's a stretch we don't get a lot of. This is our position. So I'll sit sideways. So this is how a lot of us we get locked into this position, right? So the back of the neck is short, the front of the neck is long. We've got the head out over the shoulders, so now gravity is pushing us forward this way. So when we do this movement, we're actually doing the opposite of what we do, 20 hours a day, right? So let's try that again. Take the chin right down into the notch of the collarbones. So it's down and back. And again, open your mouth. Get the jaw, that lower jaw, so that it's right down in there. And then come back up. Good. So we've done a few movements already for the neck. When we had the arm behind the shoulder, we had the ear over. We had the turning movement, so we're going to put it all together now, right? So just breathing in, breathing out, we're going to go through the movements that are available in the neck. So the first one is down, just like what we were doing. And then we're going to come up. And as you bring the chin up, try not to shorten the back of your neck. So you're still trying to get long. Then coming back to center, we're going to turn and look out over the right shoulder. And turn and look out over the left shoulder. And we're doing this very slowly, you guys, right? So that's key. Coming back to center, you're going to take your right ear to your right shoulder. And then coming back to center, take your left ear to your left shoulder. So we're going to go through that a few times. So coming back to center, take a deep breath in. Exhale as the chin comes down to the chest. Inhale as you bring your chin up. Exhale as you turn and look out over your right shoulder. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, turn and look out over your left shoulder. Inhale as you come back to center. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Inhale to center. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, chin goes right into the collarbone notch. Inhale, lift the chin up, lengthen through the whole body. Exhale, chin back down and turn and look out over that right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale, come back to center, pause and breathe. Now, take a moment and make yourself comfortable. So if you want, you can sit into the back of your chair. You can stay seated where you are. Close your eyes. With your eyes closed, keep your awareness inside. So it's really easy to get distracted. See if you can keep your awareness inside. Notice your breath. As you inhale and exhale, where do you feel movement in your body? Notice your fingers, your hands. Notice your wrists and arms, your elbows, your upper arms, your shoulders. Notice your neck, the front, the back, the sides. Notice your chest, your upper back, the right side of your rib cage, and the left side of your rib cage. Notice your belly and your low back, the right side of your waist and the left side of your waist. Notice your right hip and your left hip. Notice your right thigh and your left thigh, your right knee and left knee, your right lower leg and left lower leg, your right ankle and left ankle, right foot, left foot, right big toe, left big toe, all the toes on the right, all the toes on the left, the bottom of your feet, the tops of your feet. Notice what you're most aware of in your body right now. Is there one area, one particular area that you're more aware of than others? Are there several? Shifting awareness from your body to your breathing. Notice as you inhale and exhale that there's movement movement happening in your body. You're not moving, you're not creating movement, but your body is moving in response to the air that's moving in and out of your lungs. The deeper you breathe, the more movement you feel. The shallower you breathe, the less movement you feel. Can you breathe deeply into your body? As you inhale, feel the expansion in your rib cage, in your belly, in your waist. As you exhale, can you feel the rib cage contract, your belly, your waist contract? Inhaling is expansive and exhaling is relaxing. Inhaling is widening and broadening. Exhaling is narrowing. We need one to support the other. Breathing in requires breathing out first. Breathing out requires breathing in first. And for many of us, just watching the breath, this is harder than the movement. The mind wants to wander away. We become distracted. Is it possible to stay with this? Breathing in and breathing out. This is the most important activity you will do in any moment of your life. Inhaling and exhaling. And it's the one we take for granted the most. It's the one we think about the least. Take in a nice, slow, deep breath and let it out with a sigh. Take your hands together and just take a moment to appreciate your body, your mind, appreciate your life as it is. All that you've been given, all that you've worked hard for. And then if you'd like, maybe open your eyes and just a little gratitude, a little appreciation for all these wonderful people that we're doing a little yoga practice with this morning. You're welcome. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you all next time.